What's up, everybody? This is Casey Washack with the Rolling for Revenue podcast, your Jiu Jitsu business podcast. Guys, if you're looking to level up your school, create greater impact in your area, or design a business that supports the lifestyle you want to live, then this is the podcast for you. All right, guys, before we get started, I need to tell you about the Rolling for Revenue book. If you haven't got this, go get it. This dives deeper into everything I talk about in the podcast. This is where all the inspiration for the podcast comes from, but I just dive way deeper in it. Go to rollingforrevenue.com. Get yourself the book. Just pay for shipping. The book is free, and I'll send it your way, guys. All right? So, guys, today, what I'd like to talk about is burnout. This comes up all the time. All right? I hear gym owners, and I felt it myself at different points in time, and it usually sounds like this. I'm just burnt out. I'm doing too much. I need a break. And I look, sometimes rest is needed, and I'm not saying that's never true, but most of the time, I wouldn't call this burnout. What I would call this is a lack of direction. So I just want you to think about your typical day, and this is when I felt burnout. You show up, you teach classes, you answer texts, you deal with cancellations, maybe you find time to post something on social media, you handle some random texts or problems that come in, you go home, and then the next day, same thing, over and over again, and after a while, it starts feeling extremely repetitive. It starts feeling like, what am I even doing this for? It's like Groundhog's Day, just over and over and over again. And this is what I think people call burnout. But I'm not saying, I don't think it's the work that's burning you out. I think it's the lack of direction. Because when you don't have a clear mission for your gym, everything feels the same. There's no momentum. You don't know how to chart progress. You don't know what the bigger picture is. You're just managing tasks, running from one to the other, and that can be exhausting. So here's what's interesting is you already understand this. And so the best analogy I have for you and where you felt the opposite of burnout is not in your gym, but it's on the mats. And when you're preparing for a tournament or a super fight, everything changes. You're locked in. There's a singular focus. You're getting ready for this tournament, this super fight. Every roll has a purpose. Every drill matters towards your game. You're on point with your strength and conditioning. Your diet's on point. Everything is in alignment. You're not just showing up to train. You're preparing. You have a singular focus, and you got something you're aimed at. And because of that, you don't feel burned out. You may feel tired, but it's a different kind of tired. You're focused. You're intentional. And so it feels like you're constantly progressing. Now compare that when you're not training for a tournament or a super fight, and you're just training with no direction, no competition, no specific goal. You're just coming in, roll a few rounds, maybe drill a little bit, leave. That's fine. But when you look back, did I get better? Everything starts to feel stale and repetitive. And I would say this is why a lot of people leave jiu-jitsu is because they don't know what they're working towards. But almost like you're just going through the motions. And the exact same thing happens in your businesses. When you don't have a clear target for your gym, you're just showing up and rolling, you're reacting, you're handling whatever comes your way that day. You're just being very reactive. But you're not building anything specific. There's no camp. There's no specific fight date. There's no pressure to execute. So everything feels stagnant. Everything feels the same. But the second you give yourself a target or a mission, everything changes. So if I told you for the next 90 days, we're going to take this gym from 150 members to 200, now you're in camp. You're locked in. Your actions have purpose. What post would you make? What would you be saying to your specific students? Everything matters now. Follow-up text, that matters. Conversation with the students, specifically, that matters. Because it's all tied into a singular goal. It's tied into something bigger. But most gym owners never create that. They wake up, react, react to who shows up, who doesn't show up, who signs up, who cancels, who messaged them to freeze, what problems pop up. They're not leading the business. They're just being led, and they're responding to whatever the business throws at them. And over time, that could like drain the life out of you because you're not progressing. You're just trying to maintain. And maintaining is like treading water. It's exhausting. So let me ask you this. What are you and your business preparing for right now? In your business, you can't vaguely say, I want to grow. That's a shotgun approach. You got to be a sniper. What's the next target? What's my 90-day goal? And if you don't have one, I would say that's the problem. We need to get focused because the purpose creates the energy, not the other way around. Most people think like, once I get more energy, I'll do things. No, but in creating the thing, the purpose, you will get more energy. Now you have something to aim at, and then the energy shows up because you're excited about where you're headed, where you're going. So now you don't feel burnout, you feel driven. You feel focused, you feel like what you're doing actually matters. So if you're listening to this right now, and you're starting to feel that burnout, or maybe you already feel it, don't assume you just need to escape, you need time off. Ask yourself, like, what am I building in here right now? Where's my focus? Where are we headed? Am I just repeating the same day over and over again? Because that's a different thing. If I were you, I'd sit down and I'd write down where are we headed in the next 90 days. Something measurable, something with a timeline, something that actually matters. Like if I had to say something, we're going to add 30 members in the next 90 days, or we're going to launch semi-private and the goal is 10K a month in added revenue from semi-private. Now you're in fight camp, so to speak. Now you got direction. Everything you do is for a reason, and when you do that, you stop feeling random and you start feeling connected and mission driven. And not only you, your staff. This is when you start to feel progress. So I would say no, you're not burnt out, you're just operating without a mission. And if you fix that, you might be surprised how fast things change for you. All right, guys? So if you took anything from this, make sure to like, comment, and share. And remember, go to rollingforrevenue.com and get the Rolling for Revenue book. It's free. Just pay for the shipping. And I will see you on the mats.